Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Jujutsu Kaisen. Last time around we had Boredom, where basically Fushiguro and Kugisaki met the two of the students from Kyoto. There was Todo, a guy who asked Fushiguro what his type of woman is, and then got pissed and beat the crap out of him. And then there's also Mai, the twin sister of Maki, who sucks. Yes. And then at the end, they set up the next episode, which is some teenagers have been dying at a movie theater. And so Itadori has been sent in to investigate, I suppose. So, yeah, that's pretty much that. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. Here we go. Normally I would do the joke of, it just says Dear Frieza and then a picture of a butt, but that was it. It just said Nanami and then a picture of a penis. Alright. Good for you, Gojo. Oh, boy, oh boy. Oh, that was a lot. But interesting. Finally learned a couple other characters. So there's Yoshino, which is interesting. We see him in the OP. He's at the end, which is interesting. They basically show him among the Jujutsu sorcerers, so yeah. But now we also have Kento Nanami, which is interesting. He's a very interesting character. I like him though. He's very he's very no nonsense. He's very logical. It's interesting. It's an interesting idea. Because even the whole thing of he doesn't respect Gojo or Itadori, and it's like, yeah, but it's literally because they haven't earned it. He doesn't know anything about them. He doesn't just respect them out of hand, and that's an interesting idea, So yeah, that stuff was good. I like him as a teacher. I wonder if I can look up. I don't know why. I feel like I should have looked up the assistant guy before. Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't know why it suddenly hit me who he sounds like in this episode, but let me look. Yeah, okay. Just right there. It's Avdol from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't know why that never crossed my mind until now, Just something about just the line the one or two lines he had here. I could just hear it more, That's cool. I guess we could look up Kento while we're at it. There's a part of me that just kind of looks at his design and thinks, this dude is just Lloyd from Spy Family, Kento Nanami. David Vincent. Let me see. Lee Jinkei, is that who I think? Yeah, the Lee Jinkei in Code Geass. I remember that character. I had to look at it real quick. Oh, he's the narrator in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Aw, that's awesome. I freaking love the narrator. He starts talking about Mary Queen of Scots. Oh, that's cool. Alright. That's cool. Alright. I don't think we need to look up anyone else. I don't know if we need to look up Yoshino, so yeah. Anywho. But yeah, interesting stuff. An interesting story with Yoshino, where it's, he's the kid. He's the kid that gets bullied in every 80s movie, I guess. It's like if, well, I was about to say it's like if the 80s went dark, but this is the 80s we're talking about. But anyway, skip past my analogy, but kid who gets bullied, and now he is lured in by evil, which is interesting. But yeah, I'll be curious to get more of him. And it's interesting him talking with Mahito. So, but yeah, that stuff was interesting. And the whole thing with Kento was also really good. I like, Yuji having trouble, like, splitting between focusing on the curse and also listening to him talk. That was interesting. And yeah, just I like his backstory, that it's like, he was a Jujutsu sorcerer, but he hated it. So he went to go, work at an office, but he hated that too. But he hates being a Jujutsu sorcerer a little bit less, so he came back to Tokyo Jujutsu High. So that was interesting. I like that idea. And yeah, it's interesting because it's like he says like, oh, he believes in, some of the same things that Gojo believes in, but he also believes in rules, and, Gojo flagrantly disregards a lot of that stuff, So that's interesting. I just like the dynamic between the two of them. So yeah, so that was interesting. And his whole fighting style is interesting, just finding a weak point. Not even creating a weak point at 7 and 3 when when you put a length on the thing and you put 10 marks on it, 7 and 3 are the weakest points. Like, that's a really interesting thing. And the whole thing of like, his blade is completely covered up and he used the back of the blade, but he still sliced through that kind of curse, which we learn later. But that was interesting. I really like that. And then Itadori's, seeing him actually using cursed energy, which was pretty cool. And this whole thing of, what was it, like divergent impact or something, that he hits something and, it's incredibly strong because Yuji is incredibly strong. But then, just after he hits, then the impact of the cursed energy comes through. So that was interesting. I'll be curious to see like more of like what that entails for his fight scenes. Because I feel like honestly we haven't had a really good Yuji fight scene, really. Like, and no, not really, because most of the time he's taken over by Sukuna. So I like that. That was really, really interesting. So, and then yeah, just the discovery that those two weren't even really curses. They were former humans turned into these, monster things. Like, yuck, that's so terrible, So, it's like, what has that sort of power? And I guess that's the thing is, I guess it kind of makes sense that could be a thing, because where Mahito seems to be a human who is a curse, now we have, or a curse that is a human, now we have humans that can be a curse, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. It's a very, very interesting thing. Although, I guess that's the thing with Mahito, like, we don't fully know, that's the thing, is like, we don't know how much, we don't know too much about him other than what he said, really, is that he is a curse born from, like, human hatred, So does that mean, like, I don't know, like, it reminds me of, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! A bit, like, with Yami Merrick, where it's, like, whereas the others are, like, the others, like, the Pharaoh or Dark Bakura, they're, like, they're literally different souls to their hosts, but with Dark Merrick, it was literally, like, I don't know how to describe it, but just like another personality that was born in the darkness of Merrick's heart, So I'm wondering if maybe like Mahito is kind of like that. That'd be cool. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I have no idea. So, but it's interesting. It's a very interesting idea. And I like the moment where Yuji says, even though it wasn't me that caused their deaths, I still, that's still going to weigh on me. And I like, Kento saying like, oh, this guy has care, and, he has care, and he has these feelings about others, like he has compassion for others, even, enemies, basically. It's like, okay, I'm starting to see what Gojo sees in him, So yeah, it's like, I like that idea, especially too. It's like he can be more than just a vessel, an eventual coffin, basically, for Sukuna. So, So yeah, really, really interesting stuff, and I'm curious to see where we're going next time. I feel like we didn't talk that much, but here we are. So that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Jujutsu Kaisen reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.